trimmed up a few of our trees yesterday, so I'm going to try and use these limbs for practice. I cut and squared up my limb and found the center and put it into my current chuck that I had on the lathe. Now, something doesn't quite jive with this. It's wrong. I know it's wrong, but I couldn't quite figure out what to do, and it popped out on me. So I took the chuck off and researched how to switch out the jaws, and I had this jaw, but it doesn't fit on this chuck. Now I know I have other chucks, and I'm sure that I put them somewhere like this is a good spot, but I couldn't find the black chuck that this goes with. Found it later after I was done filming, of course. Like, all right, what if I tried these jaws? The long nose jaws might work for a tree limb. And I also had some pen blank jaws that I messed around with. Don't have any jaws with teeth, so I'm not sure how this is going to work. Now, I read that you had to tighten your jaws all the way before you actually tighten them onto the chuck. Otherwise, things got a little wobbly. So we'll see how that works out. I really need to work with these calipers more. I just don't have a good feel for making everything even. And I know that if I want to duplicate something, it's got to match. But when I use the calipers to try and see if my depth is correct, it just isn't jiving with me somehow. I'm close, but I think I need more practice. Now, I'm using a VCut here to try and start my beads. I really am getting better at doing the VCut. Unfortunately, I can't figure out how to get it to focus on my tool versus my hand. So this doesn't really give you a good view. I tried to go closer, and you really can't see much here either. But you can see it's starting to form the bead. There's very little dig-ins going on, if any, and it's a very smooth cut. I'm enjoying quite a bit. Unfortunately, I made a rookie mistake and didn't tighten my jaws as I was working the wood. And of course, it flew off. Oh my goodness, that scared me. So when that went flying off on me, I decided to get out my handy dandy little saw here. So instead of trying to use the parting tool, because I've got to figure out the jaws, I figured we'll just do my saw, and that should work out okay. I was able to get a fairly clean cut here with the saw. Just needed to sand it a little bit. See, I've got his arms and his nose. Now I need to come up with his eyeballs and buttons, and I'm trying to decide about the smile. So I have a dowel here that I'm thinking about cutting into little pieces and using a Sharpie for black. Let's see how that works. This is harder than I thought. The eyeballs and buttons stuck to my fingers, and when I dropped them, I couldn't find them on the floor. So I'm calling this good for now. See if it dries and works out.